Hello, my darling, and welcome to day 12 of 100 Days of Self-Love. Today, we're talking all about learning to love and be at peace with the way you look. It's a sad thing to say, but for some of us have never loved the way that we look. We've always wanted to look like someone else. Some of us have, maybe not loved the way we look when we were younger, and then now that we're older, would look back and think, I wish I still looked like that. There's a very famous quote that says, I wish I still looked like I did when I first thought I was fat. Unfortunately, that's the reality for many women. We don't realize how beautiful we actually can be, because we're so used to picking apart things. We're so used to picking little things. And the reality is that it's not very kind to ourselves. We need to, as always, talk to ourselves like someone we love. If you had one of your children, you would never look at her and go, oh, you're getting a little bit chubby around your arms, darling. You wouldn't dare. I remember when my first daughter was born, and her grandfather was, on her father's side, was a very interesting character, let's say. Now, my eldest daughter is red hair. She's mixed race in that, I'm Mediterranean genes, and then her dad is Egyptian, so she's very mixed race. And she has the most gorgeous red hair, and then deep, dark brown eyes and brown eyelashes and black eyebrows and stuff. She's beautiful girl. And I remember when she was first born, and her grandfather coming to visit her and say, oh no, I'd prefer it if she was if she had green eyes or blue eyes, these brown eyes, bearing in mind the gene comes from that side of the family. And then he was saying, and just the red hair, it's not very pretty, is it? And I just remember thinking, wow, absolutely wow. How could you look at this gorgeous little child and start picking holes in her? And it's basically because he'd never liked himself a day in his life, and quite frankly, no one else liked him either. But we wouldn't, us women, between us girls, we wouldn't talk to a child like that or about a child like that. You just don't. But we're willing to do it to ourselves. We're willing to say, oh, well, I'm just, almost think that everybody's better than us, or that our features aren't attractive, and just pick at ourselves all the time. And the result is that we don't feel confident as a woman, maybe, or we just don't feel comfortable in our own skin. And that's really bad. It's really detrimental to our mindset, because it's not about being overtly sexual, but it's feeling like we like our own beings. That's really important. So then the question is, I hear you ask, how do I learn to love the way that I look? Okay, so what I would say to you first and foremost is, you have to love what is right now, as you are now. I mean, I'm 49 years old. I can't wish that I was 21 again, because it's not realistic and it's not going to happen. So I have to love what is. That's step number one. You are where you are. You can't start somewhere different from that. The second thing I would say is, if you can learn to love one part of you, that's the inroad. That's the kind of inroad into loving all of you. So if you sit here and you say, okay, I'm just not in love with the way I look. I don't see there's anything beautiful about myself. And I have had, bearing in mind, I coach women all over the world, and I've coached thousands of women over the years. And a lot of them will say, I just don't love anything about myself. They can tell me what they don't like, but they can't tell me what they do like. So what I would say to you is, okay, let's start by loving one feature, just one. So, for example, I like my eyes because they're very weird. They're green, but they've got these like stripes and dots and kind of different coloured rings in them. And I just think they're kind of funky. I just think they're nice, and they're nice big, I'm a big-eyed person. If you see me in person, I'm like, big eyes. So I think my eyes are nice. So think of a feature right now, just think of a feature that you think, you maybe like, I've got nice boobs, or my hands are pretty, or my feet are lovely and petite, or I've got a nice smile, or I've got good lips, or I've got, I've got cute little ears, or I just pick one thing, preferably on your face, because it's easier for the second part of this exercise. But if not, somewhere on your body. And then what I want you to do every time you look in the mirror. So first and foremost, I know some of you avoid looking in the mirror. I know that about you. So you need to start looking in the mirror. This is, really, really important. And when you look in the mirror, just say to yourself, oh, pretty eyes, cute eyes, nice eyes. And so that when you look in the mirror, there's kindness already there. There's a gentleness, there's a compassion already there. There's an appreciation of self already there. And I promise you, if you can start to look in the mirror and compliment one feature, and we need to compliment ourselves. And I promise you, it's not egotistical or vain or, self-centered. We need to be as kind to ourselves as we are to other human beings. And we need love too. We need compassion too. So we need to think about one feature. So I'm doing this video without any makeup on. The reason I'm doing this video without any makeup on is because I need to prove the point. I've got redness on my cheeks. I've got some broken veins. I've probably got a spot on my nose. I've got a vein. I don't know if you can see this. I've got a vein that comes right down the middle of my forehead. Obviously I'm nearly 50, so I've got different marks on my face. And if I were to sit there and look right up into the mirror and go, oh, well, I don't like that. And my eyelids now, there's a vein that goes over there, and start picking bits apart, I could carry on all day. Oh, and I've got big hands and, and I've got whatever. But that's not what this is about. This is about looking at yourself close up and thinking, my eyes are nice. I've got nice eyes. And picking that one feature that you think, yeah, that's nice. I like that. No matter how big or small, just start with one. And I promise you, once you start to learn to appreciate one feature and you start to say to yourself, that's pretty, that's nice, I like that, that looks good, you can then get over this kind of mental block that unless I look like Jennifer Aniston, I'm not pretty. Because we hold ourselves to these absolutely Jennifer Aniston doesn't look like Jennifer Aniston. Are you with me? Like, that's not what actually she looks like. If you see pictures of me, for example, when I do photo shoots, that makeup's probably taking me like an hour and a half, another hour on my hair. I've got lighting. I've got, I've been my clothes are absolutely styled. I've got lighting that is the optimum everything. That's not what I really look like. And that's why I've done this video without any makeup on whatsoever. So you can see that I could pick holes in myself, but I choose not to, because it's so important to feel good about you, my love. Okay? Does that make sense? So we're bombarded with all these images of what a 30, 40, 56-year-old woman should look like. But I promise you those women don't look like that. I don't look like my kind of staged pictures, because I haven't got that. I couldn't be bothered anyway, but I haven't got that amount of time in the day to worry about that amount of prep, if you like. So let me know. And I'd be interested to know in the comments, or if you can be brave and just be a little bit vulnerable, a little bit courageous, then just tell me one feature, just one, two if you can, but at least tell me one feature that you love about you. Because if you can start looking at yourself in the mirror and focusing on that feature and saying nice things about that feature, you can learn to love the rest of you as well. And feeling comfortable in your own skin is one of the most beautiful gifts that you can actually give yourself. Because if you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, you don't feel comfortable in your own skin from first thing in the morning. You know, you wake up and you feel, oh, just, you know, before you even think about getting out of bed, you're already being dismissive about what makeup or hair or clothing you're going to wear. So, one feature, be kind, love what is. And I hope that helps. I'll see you tomorrow for day 13. As always, if you'd like to know anything about my one-to-one coaching, Fiji Fairy program, transformation program, and more, you can go to my website, www.kategrosvenor.com. And if you'd like to sign up for any worksheets that go along with this series, you can do that on www.100daysofselflovechallenge.com. Take care, my lovely, and I will see you tomorrow.